Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at Zaregotto episode 3. But it's been like a month and a half since this last episode came out. I don't know why. I really don't understand why they decided to do it the way they did with all these episodes coming out, once every month essentially, but whatever. I'm pretty sure I'm like one of the few people, if not the only person doing reviews on YouTube right now for this show, which is a shame. But anyways, let's talk about what happened this episode and my thoughts on the show so far because we're 3 episodes in. So, the painter was murdered obviously last episode, and the whole group is like actually looking at the body now and trying to go, well, what is going on exactly? And they see that she's actually been beheaded, like someone chopped this lady's head off. And what's weird is that they're trying to figure out who did it, when did this happen. The thing is though, is the focus right here is that you gotta realize with this show is that you have to pay attention to a lot of the clues around, and that's one thing I loved about the light novels was that they give you a lot of hints and concepts that you can really start figuring out and piecing together things with just looking at stuff. Like for example, right here, they show you the grander scheme of the room, and this is very important because the paint is on the floor, so obviously someone could not run across or get on there without having made footprints or stuff like that. But also at the same time, after the earthquake of the last week's episode, or last month's episode, I should say, this was caused by that. So most likely, the murder took place sometime between the beginning or after the events. Now, the thing is that though right away they're trying to point out like what exactly is going on. They're going, well, it can't have taken place after because they're like, well, that would be making no sense. I mean, like, how would she have died then? How would someone have killed her? And they're like, well, it must have took place before, but we heard her voice before because her maid slash assistant talked to her. And right away, this girl's putting blame on everyone. Danganronpa moment here, right here, folks, where she goes Sora Wacha Gaioi, which I think I just butchered how to say that. But the thing is that that's a Danganronpa reference, so someone must be a huge fan of that was doing this animation or something. But I love that they mentioned that. She right away proves that they're wrong. And what's kind of bad about her proving them wrong is that she also says though that she has no clue who's actually doing it, but she knows that for a fact that it cannot have been too far apart between before and after the events of the earthquake. And the girl right here on screen, which you saw switch to probably a moment ago, is actually now the suspect because she has no alibi. Everyone else has an alibi for the most part. She really has none. Everyone was with someone else for a while, or at least during the events of the earthquake and or after. So it's like, oh well, you're the only one there. So they propose a plan to lock her up in the room that Ichan's staying in. Now, meanwhile, though, Ichan and Tomo decide, hey, let's go investigate this room. And what they start discovering is that they really have no idea what's going on. And the police aren't supposed to be getting involved in this because the girl who you saw before a couple of images ago does not want the police involved because apparently murder has taken place on this island before. It's a cursed island. And they talk about that a little more in the light novel. They didn't talk about it very much here, but I'm presuming that they're going to wait for episode 4 to kind of get into the nitty gritty about the whole island's curse thing and all that. I'll tell you right now, it's kind of pointless. Don't think about it too much. It's not like this is gonna be a paranormal series or anything like that. There is a murderer. There's obviously someone did it out of the 11 people left out of the 12. So one of them obviously killed her. Just not gonna tell who. It's pretty easy to figure out though if you actually start piecing together some of the clues right away. But anyways, the thing about this was that I like this image right here where you see her so carefree and she's talking to Ichan about like how if they got arrested and went to jail, she's like, don't worry, I have enough money to get us out of jail. It's not a big deal. And it's like, yeah, that's the kind of weird tone that Zaragoza sets up for, is that it has this almost, I want to say almost like a teenager mystery drama to it, but at the same time, this is a murder that took place and everyone's acting very carefree and very aloof, I should say. And it's like, how could you act like that? But Tomo, I guess that's to show you how the characters of the show go. I mean, even the light novels, they're very meticulous on making sure that you understand. Hey, listen, these characters all have very odd problems. They're all savants, and as many of you know, if you know what the definition of a savant is, that's a person with a very strong sense of ability, but at the same time there is something weird about them. That's there's different forms of savants. I mean, some people have a very strong affinity for painting, for example, might not be very sociable, or someone might be very good with their hands, but at the same time might be able to talk with their mouth correctly. You know, that's one thing that I think the series has to show you a lot. It's going to do it a lot with Tomo, especially in Ichan at the same time. But you're going to see them react in weird ways because, like, even Ichan, he acts really goofy. Like, there was a scene where you see him walking on the floor, crawling to her and going, "Hey, Tomo, should we do what we, should we, like, end this witch trial?" Because that was when everyone was getting blamed for the killing and all that. And he's like, "Yeah, but you're the one who should be doing it, not me. I don't feel like it." So that is the kind of point they're getting at. You know, I don't know how I feel about the show right now in comparison to Light Novel. I like how they're doing the animation. I mean, I'll tell you right now, the whole spinning room where they were talking and the whole reference of Danganronpa, that was really cool. You know, I'm gonna see if I can say it again. Sorry wa chigayoi. I think I said it correctly or semi-correctly. I know you guys in the comments, you can tell me if I said it incorrectly there. But, I love that reference. I love that they really are trying to go for a very mystery element to it because I love mystery stuff. That's always cool to me when it's done right because mystery stories are usually done very wrong in anime typically. Um, I don't want to point fingers. Erased. What? I didn't say erased. What? That's crazy. But typically I do have issues with a lot of mystery stuff, and in general, I think that when they can do it in a way that's still entertaining, or at least kind of making sure that you're really trying to piece together everything, that is a good mystery story. And I think Zaregotto is doing a good job of that so far. If they keep up with what they're doing with the light novel, because so far I haven't found too many inconsistencies with the light novel version. I do find a little bit here and there where they're kind of minimizing some of the information, but that's obvious because I mean it's a whole light novel. They don't want to slam that into a one episode in itself, like a certain series. I mean, Cultic 9, right? Remember that with the first episode being all of one light novel, but at the same time, I wonder, how much detail are they put into the series at the same time because there's 8 episodes, and right now in the light novel, if I'm not wrong, it should be technically probably like the quarter waypoint of what they're doing right now. So that means that I'm almost thinking that maybe the whole first 8 episodes are just the first light novel. That's what I think right now, and I'm kind of scared about that because I'm like, that's cool and all, but I wanted to see more from this series. But whatever, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, maybe they're just doing this as the kind of thing to kind of give time to finish everything. I don't know, but I have high hopes for the show, but at the same time, I know it's not going to be very popular, and I'm just kind of sad about that. Anyways, guys and girls, I will talk to you guys later. I kept you long enough of my ranting at the end of that, but as always, if you enjoy this content, you know what to do. I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.